Okay, so let's go look on the next. We have wind properties, and this is which will affect the plants and other elements in your scenery. Besides, you can control wind direction for each individual plane. If you use ecosystem or overall just place plants, this is a global effect on them. As this going, you can enable wind. We can enable beside the wind breeze and gusts of the wind. So gusts is those random small puff of the air that modified. Breeze, it's more in a wavy continuously, and of course the wind, it's higher one. So overall, this is different type of properties. We'll look on them. You can also have a preview of the wind or gusts, depending how much you want to affect. In some cases, if you do still image, sometimes you maybe want to disable, so you don't want it, for example, affect your plant. I did not find any effect on the speed of rendering, but it is may affect on positioning of the plant, because if you put a plant and it's look one way on your image, but you enable quite a strong wind and breeze, and when you start rendering, you notice your plant kind of going on a sideways, kind of look weird. It's maybe because it's affecting by the breeze or wind. Okay, let's go look on effect tab, and here we have our stars. So when we create a sky, we can take let's go take sunlight, just put maybe a lower. Right here we can enable stars. They will increase pop up again, number of the star, how bright they are, if you want them twinkle in animations, color it, or currently black and white. And also they enable lens flares, so on some will have a little bit strikes. We also can create a rainbow in the skies. So right here you can see it's kind of appearing. We can size coloring, realistic colors, so we can apply all this different type. Below we also can create ice rings that will display around the sun. So we take the sun. Let me take this class, just delete it. So we put it sun, and we can enable a ring, so it will create additional rings around the sun. You know what, let me take glow intensity way down. Right here, lights. Okay, we'll switch to photometric. Okay, so let's go back to effects. So we can create ice rings around sun. Right there you can kind of see them. Also size and all this. This is more related to the winter type look, spring type, or other ones. So you can create all of them enabled. The other things is useful. We have it now environmental map. So it's meaning beyond the atmosphere. If I want to create on a back some layout of the star or galaxy, whatever, I can use it also environmental map and place it this just beyond effect of the atmosphere. This way it's blend much better. So let's go, if we enable, we can go click and preload it. And currently right now, because it's quite a bit affecting by maybe a little bit higher contrast, so we can bring out to see. We have all these atmosphere effects. We probably want to just take down. Okay, let's go take down the atmosphere effect, and you can kind of see right there we start bringing them up. Sometimes they may be not too in your face, kind of on the back, but again, this is calculating realistic size of atmosphere, how far it will go. So if we, for example, take the atmospheres all the way down, it's like no atmosphere. So right here you can see the map without affecting of any atmosphere. Again, this is creating realistic. If you want to create a little bit more unusual sci-fi, we can create those with using some planets and put it on the side. Okay, right here we have our stars. Let's disable, so and this is just our environmental map. We put it on a background by using. We also can positioning, adjusting. Currently you can see it says at a spherical. We can set hemisphere, the half of this. If we want to cover it, depend on what map you have it. Cube, if some application allowed you to map it in a cube mode, and cylinder and compact map. So spherical, with problem with spherical, some elements will go under our ground, so we won't see it. So in many cases you probably just want hemisphere creating, and this way it will cover half of our vision. Okay, so next let's disable this one. We also have a lens flare that we can apply to the object or to the sun, and this is actually quite a bit complex. Right now directional to the sun, we can apply to all individual lights, and you can create and adjust this by going inside the lens flare editor, which, how I say, it's quite a bit complex by itself. And right here you can modify the rings intensity, strikes, all this stuff, and you have all different types of lens included your custom. So you actually can see how much it's nested complexity inside, which is good because it's allowed you create quite a bit of flexibility. So right here you can create your own custom lens with different type of the refraction, creating and other properties, coloring, intensity. We'll look on this one a little bit more in later when we start creating our own lens. We open some other one and we'll try to simulate specifically. But if you don't want to do this, you can just go and preload a 35mm example lens, fade of the screen. We can add a little bit more star effect to this. Scan interference, we don't need it. Maybe add strikes, amount, sharpness. Increase a little bit ring, click OK, and you can see right here we created some different lens flare. Again, this is, if you want to, you can do it in post-production, but it is available. You can also use this one to all the lights. We have it also default reflection map, and when you're creating reflection objects, sometimes you don't place anything on the back. For example, if I create orb right here, okay, and I'll take this orb, place it, can be sure I placed on the middle so we can preview. And we'll go to switch material for the orb. Let's set something to metal. Okay, we'll go to polished silver example. You can see it's reflecting, but it does not, for example, reflect some other stuff, and I want to fake like a properties, so I can always just select another map, and it will be affecting in my reflection map as well to this. Okay, so right here we have our effects. Let's go to look on rain and snow. This is more as a particles that will create it around the area. So example, let's go says rain, and as we're creating rain, it's take a little bit time to position them, but you notice it will create this area of the rain. So this is will create around, it's created small teeny tiny particles that you can modify. Okay, so as we're creating rain, you can see right here we have our environment. We can also go and reduce, make it smaller if we need it around. Sometimes you want to make smaller depend on how much it will take of element to process it. So it's take create all those teeny tiny particles in the air, and it's maybe take quite a bit of resource of yours computer. So the properties, we have a simple area, precipitation, string, drop size, size of the particles, rain speed, so it's how generated and pass through. We also can specify wind direction, so it's not go straight down, it will go with directional if we needed intensity, angle, turbulence, motion blur. So all this additional properties, same if we're going with a snow, we have the ability to do this. With the exception, you can see right here now we have just a size of the flakes they can create in, and we can use those flakes by going to material editor. We can modify inside the material editor them. Overall, it's just simple transparency with the alpha applied. Okay, and the same, let's look on the rain. So you still have access to the rain, but it's more work as the color, and it's because transparency is have a refraction index for the water. Actually, it's 1 point, so we can create or 3.1 different refraction index, so it will affect and make a little bit more visible. So you have the flexibility how you work with materials, and nice things, you're not necessarily locked to just rain and snow. You can actually use that snow and replace the particles with the leaves, and now you have it falling leaves instead snow. Of course, you can do this all this with the particles inside the view, but just let you know, you can also utilize this inside the atmosphere editor, but you can use a different look and shape of the particles as well. In some cases, you can even modify this to different colors. So let's go edit, and you can set as a black, for example, color, and this way you will have ash falling from volcano or from other areas. Okay, so right here we look on our atmosphere editor. It's very fast, kind of breeze look over. You can notice how much complexity and details in this, and we will go explore and look on this a little bit more when we are going in advanced mode with atmosphere editor.